Hey guys.
Operations, carrier operations, how to use the catapult, how to fly a VFR pattern, and how to make an arrested landing.
Hey guys, Bowden25 here.
As the carrier gets underway, let's go over some of the Hornet systems with the engines
We'll be
on.
doing a carrier tutorial.
The Hornet is designed for naval operations. It has very strong landing gear to take the abuse of carrier landings, and a tailhook for quick stops on a short deck. 2 engines provide plenty of power. We won't be going over avionics or doing a thorough cockpit orientation here, but take a look around. Try to locate the main controls you'll use, such as the throttles, gear lever, hook lever, flap lever, and speed brake lever.
That's the throttle. I actually have no idea where the actual bloody...
The Hornet has 6 stages of afterburner, which ignite consecutively as you advance the throttles past maximum military power.
I mean, look at that.
The more afterburner you use, the more thrust is produced, and the more fuel is
Maybe we need to
consumed.
be airborne for that.
Don't use afterburner unless absolutely necessary, as its high fuel flow rate greatly reduces aircraft range.
Indeed. Usually they do
Before
use it
starting
for
the engines,
takeoff.
pull the throttle levers all the way back. The last thing we want is an out-of-control aircraft on the carrier deck.
That's odd.
Press Control-E to
I
start
know
the
how
engines,
the
or for the complete startup procedure, press Shift F10 to display the knee board.
Yeah, so Shift Q. So you're right at the very back of this carrier. I presume it's a Nimitz class, although I'm not entirely sure.
Now that both engines are running, release the brakes and ease the throttle forward very slightly. With 2 high-thrust engines, it doesn't take much to get moving. Taxi to one of the 2 catapults on the bow of the carrier. We'll fly a left-hand traffic pattern. The standard VFR pattern from a carrier is flown at 600 feet and 150 knots. But in this tutorial, we'll fly it at 2,000 feet and 200 knots to make it a little easier.
Yeah, this thing does not have a bloody autopilot, does it? Because I'm going to be way over that speed, I can tell you that much. I'm being very cautious with the controls here because I don't want to just... Basically, this thing can build up speed fast, but it, well then again, from the very back it actually might be able to build up enough speed. Okay, bit to the right, brake a bit. Ooh, pretty powerful brakes there.
When you're near a catapult, lower the launch bar with the controls in the cockpit. Then press Shift-I to attach and arm the catapult. Be sure the brakes are off. Lower the flaps to takeoff position by pressing the F7 key once. When you're ready to go, advance the throttles to full military power. You don't need afterburner to take off using the catapult.
Oh really? I thought they used
Press
it.
Shift Spacebar to launch.
I want to know where it's... At what point do the afterburners ignite? Okay, back.
Pull back on the stick and climb away from the carrier. Climb to 2,000 feet. Don't exceed 200 knots. Raise the flaps. Turn left to a heading of 200 and enter a downwind leg parallel to the carrier. On downwind, you should be level at 2,000 feet, flying at 200 knots.
I'm trying, I'm not... this thing is a bit of a bitch to trim. What, are the flaps still out?
Slow down to 200 knots. Use the speed brake to slow down.
I mean, we're not that much over the speed. Bit more power. Okay, now we're climbing very quickly. 200, you said? Yeah, so this is good enough. Okay, we're losing altitude. Just a case of getting this thing trimmed correctly. So I am trying to do this properly. Like this
Stretching across the deck are 4 cables that the tailhook can hook onto.
If you miss, you go around, basically. That's why there's that angled flight deck.
Extend the gear. Don't flare on landing. Just fly the aircraft directly onto the deck in a tail-low attitude. Don't let your descent rate exceed 700 feet per minute, or you might damage the landing gear. Lower the flaps 1 notch for the approach. Lower the tailhook by pressing Shift-Q. Adjust power to maintain 170 knots.
I suppose speed is 170, got it. And the thing is, since we're landing at an angle, the carrier is moving forwards. So we have to kind of compensate for that. Which ain't exactly easy. We seem to be doing not too badly. When we pass the downwind...
Make a 180-degree turn to the left and line up for landing. The landing signal officer will give you some guidance on final if you need it. Wave off means you're not in position to land. Bolter means you missed the cables. In either case, add full thrust, go around and try again. If you trap a cable, the LSO will tell you which one and will announce that the deck is red, unsuitable for landing by other aircraft. Adjust power to maintain 170 knots.
By the way, just out of curiosity, well, I doubt there's anyone from who's actually in the military watching this, but hey, if there is, does the Hornet have some form of autopilot, or is it constant hand flying? This does sound like whinging, but come on. I am curious. Okay, I think we can begin to gradually decelerate. And put 1 notch of flaps out. We are... oh Jesus, we are going down at a fair bit as well. I believe those are meant to be Arleigh Burkes, the destroyers. Okay, definitely need an increase in power there.
Remain above 1,000 feet until you're on a 2-mile final. Adjust power to maintain 150 knots.
No, Jesus.
You're landing on the angled deck, so you need to be to the right of the carrier as you approach. The carrier is heading directly into the wind. To land on the angled deck, you need to compensate for the crosswind. You should be able to see the top of the deck throughout your approach. If you can't see the deck, you're too low.
Alright, okay. At first I was like, wait, what? There is... oh, okay. Just going to look back to make sure... yeah, that's an Arleigh Burke. I was thinking, it's either an Arleigh Burke or a Ticonderoga. The Ticonderogas have a bit more... oh, Jesus. Bit more of a boxy superstructure. Alright, we'll also just lower the gear. Jesus Christ, this thing's fidgety. I see the deck, let's... whoa, okay.
Lower full flaps and maintain 130 knots.
Is that full flaps? Did you say 180?
Adjust power to maintain 130 knots.
Oh, Jesus, okay.
Slow to 130 knots for the final approach.
You're fast.
I get that, but I'm also trying very hard not to stall out. Also, I presume those signals there, okay, more power. See, I'm worried about coming down...
355, 3/4 mile. Call the ball.
I have no idea what that means. I think I'm too...
The ball is the yellow indicator on the visual landing system on the left side of the flight deck. If the ball is higher than the row of green lights, you're too high. If the ball is lower than the green lights, you're too low. If the ball is red, You're dangerously low.
Key raise the nose a bit, I think.
You're slow.
Yep, a bit more power. Okay, and your sidle.
Trap, one wire, red deck.
Great landing. Raise the tailhook to release from the cable.
Boom!
If you'd like to practice more carrier landings, try flying the carrier practice mission.
Oh, that was fun, but also pretty stressful. Alright, let's clear the deck. Let's move over to one of the elevators. I don't know why, but I think one of those wheels is moving. Like, that wheel is moving a bit too quickly. Also, yeah, try not to fall off the edge of the deck. But I'm just gonna stop. Oh yeah, headwind as well. I was thinking that this carrier doing 40 knots. So yeah, that was carrier tutorial. Just, I think some of you might enjoy seeing, well, me landing on a carrier. Honestly, I was expecting to fuck up a lot more. Yeah, I'm Barton25. Goodbye.